My best friend, Jim, volunteered to drive me from my parents' home in Kenosha, Wisconsin, to O'Hare Field in Chicago, where I would start my journey to Vietnam. It was a beautiful October day, and my family and I were all saying goodbye in front of my parents' home. As I hugged and kissed each of them goodbye, I actually thought it was for the last time ever. I really believed I would probably lose my life in Vietnam. But I was okay with that. I felt going there was my patriotic duty, and if I didn't come home again, well, that was God's plan. However, I didn't mention those feelings to my family. Jim had been out of the Army for about a year. During his time in the Army, he had spent a year in the infantry in Vietnam, so he knew about some of what I was going to experience in the next 12 months. On the drive to O'Hare, he tried to give me pointers on what to expect. Being as naive as I was, most of his advice didn't really stick very well in my head. When he dropped me off at O'Hare, we shook hands, then hugged, and I was on my way. I flew from O'Hare to an airport near Fort Dix, New Jersey, and reported in at Fort Dix. After processing, a large group of other soldiers and I destined for Vietnam were bused to a nearby Air Force base. There we all got aboard a large C-141 cargo transport jet. The C-141 was set up to transport troops. The rear portion of the fuselage was the cargo area. At the end of the fuselage was a giant door that pivoted down and became a ramp for unloading the cargo. All our duffel bags were stored in that cargo area. The inside of the rest of the fuselage was set up with seating. It was not the kind of seating you would see on a commercial passenger jet, but the kind of seating used for troops. There were bench-like seats against the outer walls along the entire length of the fuselage. The seats were made of nylon mesh,